Hi everyone, it's John Mitchell, and in this video we're going to continue on with our motivation strategies. The next strategy in our study design is support, which is individual assistance and services designed to help employees cope with problems that may negatively impact their lives or work performance. Now there's a number of different ways a business can provide support for the employees. One example is employee assistance programs. It's a confidential counselling services that employees can access. So if they're struggling in an area of their life, whether that be at work or outside of work, they can access this counselling service completely confidential, so the business or the managers don't get to find out who's actually accessing or using the service. However, the business pays for it, and so that can help provide motivation for the employee to get back on track. Mentoring is another strategy that can be used, or another method that can be used within this strategy, which is where an experienced employee acts as a mentor for new employees and provides that support, and that helps keep the motivation high for the employees because they know that the support is there. And it could even just be general managerial support, whereas during difficult times, whether it be during times of change, people fearing job security, anything like that, where a manager or general managerial support is provided to the employees to help them through those times. Now this can be seen as both a short-term and or a long-term motivator, because in the short term, if the employee knows that these services are available, it helps motivate them in the short term, to get back on track or to help, motivated towards doing their work. But in the long term, if they know that the business is really investing in them and that ongoing support is there, then that can provide that long-term motivation that the employee needs. Some advantages: it can help improve mental well-being of the employees, builds a strong culture where they support each other, and also, as I mentioned, can be a long-term motivator. Some disadvantages with the employee assistance programs is that managers may not know the employee's problems, which is a positive, but then that can make it difficult for the manager to demonstrate emotional intelligence. They might not know when a particular employee is struggling. It also needs a positive culture to work effectively. So that can go hand in hand, that support can help build a positive culture, but if there isn't a great culture and they've just got some practices in place, that could be a disadvantage. Now, sanctions are penalties for poor performance or for disobeying a particular policy. Some examples would be loss of benefits for the employees, an employee is demoted, or they receive a written warning. It's based on fear from the employees, where the manager is trying to cause fear within the employees so that they do the right thing. Other employees may also fear the sanction if an employee receives a sanction. So if one employee receives a sanction, others may then fear and fall into line for a particular policy. However, it's normally just a short-term motivator. It's not really seen as a long-term motivator for employees. It can have a short impact or an immediate impact in the short term so that employees do the right thing, but in the long term, it's not really seen as a long-term motivator. Now, some of the advantages of using a sanction as motivation is that some employees may actually respond positively to the sanction. If they receive a sanction, they may be motivated towards doing the right thing in the future. And also, it could bring other employees in line with a policy through fear of receiving a particular sanction, so they want to do the right thing. However, as I said earlier, it's normally only a short-term motivator, and it can actually cause resentment from the employees if they know that a manager is just trying to, by negative means, saying do this or else. And also it can cause disputes if an employee receives a sanction and they actually don't feel like they deserved the sanction. It could cause a dispute and then bring in union involvement. So they're just some of the motivation strategies, but they're listed specifically in your study design, so you need to know them. Just a reminder that you need to know the advantages and disadvantages of each of those strategies, and also their impact towards long-term and short-term motivation. So for questions, activities, and to find out more about our Unit 4 and exam preparation lectures, then come on over to teachingbubble.com.